we are doing the very first Gremlin Gossip episode. So last week I had a submission from a listener named Joey, and they gave me this story that they didn't think really applied for it to be like a gremlin story, but it was just like a piece of gossip that they wanted to share. And I got really excited and I put it out to all of you guys. If you have gossip that you want to share, to send it in, because I absolutely love to hear gossip. Even if I don't know the people, I'm just nosy like that. I'm a nosy Nelly. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gossip stories that I picked. Can't forget. The drink of the week is, I was lazy today. It's just a Celsius with Tito's. So it's energy drink with vodka. It's not the prettiest color. It kind of looks like I'm drinking a science experiment. And it's kind of late. Let's see. Normally I film during the day, but right now it's almost 9:30 at night. And I had a day. But I have a bunch to do after this, so the Celsius will come in handy. And hopefully I'll get everything done, and tomorrow can be a free day. Okay, so we have 7 Gremlin gossips. I was thinking about putting in some Gremlin stories, but I kind of wanted this episode to just be the gossip. So next week we'll see what the format is. I'm still playing around with stuff, guys. I am figuring it out as I go. The first one, also, you guys got real comfortable real quick. I'll tell you that right now. When I receive them, usually there's not like a formula to how I read the stories. But for this, like normally I just pick them like based on like how I receive them. That's just the order that they go in. But for this, I was like, I feel like there might need to be some order. The first one I'm gonna read, it had me clutching my pearls. I was like, oh my God. So I figured let's start strong, and I guess you'll see. But yeah, the first one is wild. I think it's the craziest one. It might be the ickiest. So with that, let's get it started. Actually, most of these are anonymous, with I believe the exception of just one. Yeah. Okay. So the first one, which it might rank as the number one most insane piece of gossip we got for this episode. Anonymous says, when I was 25, I was dating this guy who had a fetish for coming on me. I can't believe I'm reading this. It didn't matter where, he just liked to see it on me. I had a rule, he couldn't get it in my eyes because I had lash extensions. Well, one of the last times we slept together, he whipped it out and, you guessed it, got me in both eyes. I was pissed and blinded. I cleaned myself up and went to bed annoyed. The next day, my eyes were feeling really itchy. And, oh God. Okay, hold on. Let me redo that. The next day, my eyes were feeling really itchy, and by the nighttime, they were becoming sticky. The following morning, I had full-on pink eye in both eyes and had to go to the doctor for eye drops. I was furious, and we stopped dating shortly after that. I don't know why it gave me pink eye, and I don't really want to know. Anonymous. I have no words. I don't know if this is a unique experience for you. It hasn't happened to me, and it hasn't happened to anyone that I know of. I mean, I feel like myself and my friends were pretty like open with each other about like what has like just like gossiping, like, you know, about sex stuff. I feel like someone would have told me if this had happened to them, and they haven't. So I don't know if this is like a thing. Also, I was going to Google why you got pink eye. And then I thought about it and I decided, first of all, I don't think I wanted to know. Second, it seems like you didn't want to know either. And third, I got weirded out about my search history. I'm like, that's like, I don't know, it made me feel icky. So I didn't Google it. So yeah. And if people out there know why, I don't even think I want to know. I guess keep it to yourself. Yeah, this grossed me out. Like I said, I was clutching my pearls when I read it, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, should I read this on the podcast? Like, is it too vulgar? And I'm like, well, technically it's not too vulgar. It's just like, ewy. But yeah, we're starting off real strong, guys. And sorry to Anonymous who got pink eye, because that's no fun. And yeah, I have no words. So let's just move on. The next one is also anonymous. She says, I've been paying an Etsy witch every month to curse my ex-boyfriend. He's a bastard who cheated on me with 2 of my friends, so he deserves it. It's not too expensive and it makes me feel better. I heard he has recently lost his job, so I'd like to think I had something to do with that. Unsigned. I do always hear, like, it's mainly on TikTok. If I'm going to say I heard about something, just assume it's TikTok. I have heard about this whole Etsy witch, I don't know, like spike in like people like using them. I don't think I would ever use them myself because I do think it's kind of a scam. But at the same time, that's pretty funny. Also, he's a bastard who cheated on me with 2 of my friends. Your friends aren't innocent in this either. I hope you're spreading the curse around at least. I mean, yeah, he sucks, but I mean, if those were if there were 2 of your friends that, you know, slept with him as well, they're not your friends. They're just as guilty as he is. Because I could tell you, if my friend's boyfriend came on to me, I wouldn't be like, okay, and then sleep with him. Like, zero loyalty from any of them. So I hope all of them are out of your life. And the Etsy witch, I wonder if it's the same one that keeps, like, everyone keeps talking about. Because there's this one that's, like, apparently, like, super popular because she's, like, I don't know, she has, like, the best, I don't know, rating on Etsy. I don't know. But I have heard about this. I don't really plan on using it. I don't have anyone that I want to curse, you know. I don't know. I guess I'm just sweet like that. All right. Number 3, let's go. Another unsigned. She says, pre-COVID, I was working at this office for a couple of years. My cubicle was next to a woman, let's call her Susan, and we were friendly. Her husband randomly passed away, and she took some time off of work. When she came back, she wasn't solemn like we all thought she would be. She was actually raving about her new boyfriend. Everyone was shocked. Her husband died in September. I remember because it was the day after my birthday. She was talking about her new boyfriend in October, and by Christmas, she was engaged. It just seemed really weird. She stopped working at the office a couple months later, so I don't know what happened. Anonymous. I think someone should look into Susan. He died randomly. I'm gonna say maybe she had something to do with that, because that's so weird. I don't mean to laugh. I laugh when I get nervous. Yeah, I think Susan murdered her husband, but that's just me talking. And look, it said pre-COVID, so it's at the very least 5 years ago, maybe 6 actually. Yeah. Yeah, someone look into that. I wonder if people did get suspicious and then looked into it and maybe she was just cleared. Like, now I want to know, how did the husband die? Like, was it a freak accident, or like, he obviously wasn't sick because it says randomly. Suspicious. I don't know. Yeah. So we have an array of stories here from fetishes to curses to possible murder. Anyway, let's move it on. All right, the next one, I paired these two together because the same thing pretty much happened to both of these girls. Yeah. The first one, she was our only brave one. Not that the rest of them aren't brave. She's just the only one who signed her name. So Marissa says, "This is super embarrassing, but I think you'll find it funny. I had been hooking up with this guy for a couple months and I liked him, but I didn't really see a future with him. One night after we were done, he tells me that the condom is missing. So we're searching the bed thinking it fell off, but we can't find it. I get up to pee and then realize the condom was inside of me. I was trying to get it out, but unfortunately needed his assistance. It was so embarrassing, but he was cool about it, thank God. Marissa." And let's just move it right into the next one. Anonymous says, "During my hoe phase, there was this one particular bar I would go to scout for new potential hookups. I met a guy there who was in town for work, and he was a cutie. His hotel was down the street, and after a couple of hours of talking and many drinks later, we are stumbling to his room. He told me he didn't have any protection, but me being a safety queen, I said I had one in my purse. So I give it to him, and we get down to business. Everything was great, but I decided I wanted to go home, so I got dressed, said goodbye, and made my way home. When I got home, I crashed immediately into bed and woke up the next morning with a hangover. I eventually get up and shower, and when I was soaping up, I felt something down there. I'm freaked out and investigate, and it was the motherfucking condom. I was so grossed out. Maybe it was too big for him and it slipped off? I don't know. I never called the guy back, and I definitely slowed down my hoe ways. Anonymous." Okay. This has never happened to me either. And I don't know. I haven't heard any of my friends talk about this either. But like, what's up? Like, these guys are using baggy condoms. Like, just get your own size. Like, how much do I bet these are the guys that are buying magnums at the store and really they need like smalls? Either that or they got like pencil dicks over here. I don't understand how it slips off. Maybe I should have Googled that. But again, my search history is already really weird because I like to look up like random facts that I hear about. Like this, okay, this is a couple days ago. I saw this TikTok about, this has nothing to do with the stories, by the way, I'm just going on a tangent. I saw this TikTok about how Teddy Roosevelt's daughter, Alice, was banned from the White House by 2 different presidents. So I was like, why? Like, that's weird. Like, what did she do? So I Google it, and it led me on this road of Wikipedia where then they said Teddy Roosevelt only became president because he was the vice president of William McKinley, who was assassinated during office. So I was like, well, who assassinated him? So click on that guy's page, go through all the things, found out like why he did it and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I did such a deep dive on this guy who assassinated William McKinley that I found out that after his execution, he had an autopsy performed, and they found out that he had, I'm going to butcher the way this is said, chancres? I don't know how to say it, but I didn't know what the fuck it was. So I clicked on it and I was like, well, what is that? Anyway, I found out that William McKinley's assassinator had an STI from apparently, swinging his dick all around town. And it's like, I guess you would equate it to like modern day herpes. I don't know. They said it was genital sores. Anyway, that's to say my search history is wild and weird. I didn't want to add this onto it. And it makes me, I wonder, did Marissa and Anonymous sleep with the same guy who just doesn't fit into condoms? I don't know. And then he didn't have one on him. Like, dude. Ugh. All right. Anyway, that was a tangent, and let's move it move it along. Okay, Anonymous says, this one was pretty funny. I was dropping my daughter off for her first day of second grade. There is a drop-off line across the street, and the kids hop out and cross the street to enter the school. So my daughter gets out of the car, and I'm waiting at the crosswalk, watching her walk across the street, when someone catches my eye. I immediately cringe when I realize the crossing guard was a man I had a one-night stand with when my daughter was on vacation with her dad and stepmom during the summer. Luckily, he didn't see me or recognize me, and now I'm dreading drop-offs for this year. FML. I want to know, does he work for the school? Like, is he like a teacher there, or is his profession just crossing guard? And I mean, you met it as a one-night stand. I'm assuming you met him at like a bar or club. Did he not say what he did? Because I gotta tell you, if I met a guy at a club and then he said that his occupation was a crossing guard, I don't know if I'd hook up with him. So I'm assuming he's got something else going on other than crossing guard, and he maybe works for the school. And because I know, like, sometimes like teachers, you know, what do they do? Like volunteer, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Okay, and the last one is also anonymous. She says, oh, okay, I picked this one to be the last one on purpose. You'll see why. So I have a crazy losing my virginity story as well. I was 17 and had been talking to this guy on Facebook. This was the days before Tinder. So we decided to meet up. I thought he went to a high school in the neighboring town and he was my age. When I got there, he did look like his pictures, but he was much older, like in his 30s. And he wasn't a student at the high school, but he worked at the high school. But I was young and dumb and didn't see the problem, so we hung out that night and he ended up punching in my V card. Now that I'm older, I definitely see that he was a predator, so now I'm sharing the gossip to let others know. Anonymous. Oh my God. Not only is this guy a predator, he works at a high school, like he works at a place where you can, prey on the young? Ugh, gross. What a creepo. I wonder what he's doing now. And then I wonder if you were 17 and this was Facebook times, like what year do you think this was? Like 2008 maybe? I don't know. Scary. But yeah, I wonder what he's up to now. Hopefully he's not still up to his same antics. I mean, I know I have like an affinity for the elderly, but not when I was 17. And technically, like, I just like to say that because it bothers my boyfriend. It's not like he's a senior citizen this year, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, I just thought we should end on that as a little PSA for all the youngins out there. I don't know, do I have any really young listeners? I don't know, now I feel weird about that first story I just told, if I have like a 16, 17-year-old listening. I don't know. I mean, I can't like censor myself now. I feel like I've said worse things, but yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming my age demographic is like my age, right? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Guys, if you have kids, don't let them listen to this because I plan on saying worse stuff in in the years to come. I highly doubt this woman talking about the fetish her boyfriend had is going to be the worst thing that comes out of my mouth. So yeah, everyone, make sure that you watch your kids and they don't, come into contact with predators like this, because what a fucking creep. Ugh. Grodies. All right. Well, that is it. It's short, it's sweet, it's gossipy, and we love gossip. There were more gossip submissions that I did see. It was just kind of like I put these together because they were like the first ones to come in. So if yours didn't get read on today's episode, stay tuned. More Gremlin Gossip, Gremlin Guidance, and Gremlin Stories are to come in future episodes. If you have submitted something but it hasn't been read yet, it might just kind of be like lost in the sauce. So you can always just resubmit it. It'll just push your email right to the top of the list. So just resubmit it if I haven't read it yet, or if you haven't submitted anything at all, but you have something, you have a gremlin story that you want to share about yourself or others. If you need gremlin guidance, if you have a question that you need advice on, send it in. And if you have a piece of gremlin gossip, either about yourself, your family, your friends, your coworkers, something you just like want to tell and want to get, all gossipy with, send that in. You can email the podcast, emilytogramleypod@gmail.com. Make sure to follow the podcast and myself on Instagram and TikTok, emilytogramleypod, and watch this episode on YouTube. YouTube has like almost no views. The only view I get is actually Jay, who she is more like a listener to, or a watcher of podcasts than a listener. So she's the one who's like consistently watching. There are others, but like I know for sure I'll always get one view. But let's bump those numbers up. You can listen to the episode and then you can watch the episode. And yeah, on YouTube, Emily to Gremley Pod on YouTube. So yeah, make sure to like, follow, share, subscribe, rate 5 stars, tell your friends, do all the things. And yeah, so that is it for Gremlin Gossip. Again, if I didn't read yours, send it in again and it'll just be bumped to the top and I will get to it quicker and sooner. And that's pretty much it. I'm very excited. I have some guests lined up, some returning, some new. I'm very excited. And I did find someone who's willing to share their losing their virginity story with me. That way I'm not sitting here by myself feeling really embarrassed. And that should be a good one. I do think my story is going to be worse than hers because I kind of know what hers is. And I think mine is worse. So we'll share it and we'll let you guys be the judge of that. And yeah, very excited for you guys to listen to this episode. Again, if you have anything you want to submit, email me, emilytogramleypod@gmail.com. And again, follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok, emilytogramleypod. And that's our episode. I, again, took one sip of my drink, but I have a big night ahead of me. So the Celsius will get me through it and the vodka will, I don't know, chill me out, I guess. And yeah, so cheers to you, cheers to me, cheers to all of our submissions, and cheers to future submissions. I'm very excited to read what you guys are going to submit, and yeah, cheersy!